just the nicest man. He's so caring. He really is. And at the same time, he kind of balances that out with that political incorrectness that we love because we need it.
Could Sarah Palin be the next head of the Veterans Administration? Aaron Katersky joins us from New York. Good morning, Aaron Katersky.
Oh, good morning. Sarah Palin is said to be under consideration by the Trump campaign in order to fill the job of Veterans Affairs Secretary. Nothing has been offered, we're told. But she is now talking to the Trump transition team. And in recent days, told them, I feel as though the megaphone I have been provided can be used in a productive and positive way to help those desperately in need.
It seems like, Aaron Katersky, before we get into some more names that are being leaked, is that the Trump administration, more than any other in sort of recent past, is certainly using the trial balloon process much more than others.
No question. And doing it either through Twitter or just simply through the camera that's trained on the Trump Tower lobby to see who comes in and out, and then who speaks about their experience meeting the man. And we've learned from some of those sessions that like General David Petraeus had a nice conversation. Mitt Romney said he had a nice conversation. Some emerge talking up the Trump talking points and discarding earlier criticisms. Some simply decline to speak about what went on in the meeting. But when there is a formal offer, it usually comes in an email that we get from the transition office. How
is the trial balloon that a Wall Street banker is going to be in charge of Wall Street? How's that?
Mnuchin.
Yeah.
He worked for 17 years at Goldman Sachs. He started his own hedge fund. Those are two things that Donald Trump criticized during the campaign, specifically Goldman Sachs and hedge funds. And a number of his supporters have taken to Twitter to say, can you hire somebody other than a Goldman Sachs alum for your administration, referring to not only Mnuchin but also Steve Bannon. And the Trump campaign says that nothing could be further from the truth, that Mnuchin is one of the architects of the economic populism that Trump espoused on the campaign trail, and who better than to help him put it into practice once Trump gets to the White House.
Are we learning anything more about this Carrier announcement that he saved the jobs in Indiana?
Well, he appears to have convinced Carrier to save some of the 1,400 jobs that the company wanted to move to Mexico. And you remember the frequent criticism and the threat to impose a 35% tax on Carrier products. Now the company is prepared to preserve about 850 jobs of the original 1,400. And the terms of the deal that the company said it reached with President-elect Trump were not made clear, but Fortune magazine says they included a package of incentives and perhaps some promises from the president-elect to make a more business-friendly climate. Conservatives have been writing about the deal, criticizing that it doesn't address structural issues in the manufacturing sector. And in fact, the one columnist wrote that this is terrible for a nation's economic vitality if businesses start making decisions to please politicians rather than their customers and shareholders.
Yeah. Also, too, his vice president is the governor of Indiana. What could he do that the governor of Indiana couldn't do?
Well, we're not sure that he did anything other than promise some things going forward, or help kickstart the discussion with such constant criticism and so public criticism. We know that the state of Indiana was going to offer some package of incentives. The state does that on a routine basis. A lot of states do that in order to either keep businesses or attract businesses, but we're still not sure what the terms of the deal are going to be. Carrier says the agreement, by the way, in no way diminishes its belief in the benefits of free trade and the forces of globalization.
Lots of things going on, Aaron, including he also tweeted out that he was going to separate himself from his businesses, but yet didn't give us any sort of indication how he would do that. Any more information on that?
Not really. He plans to hold a news conference December 15th with his children. Presumably, he would turn over control to his children, but we're not sure what kind of wall might be established. The president-elect on Twitter was careful to say he's not mandated to do this, but he felt it was visually important to not have a conflict of interest with his various businesses. And so I guess we'll learn a little bit more on the 15th, but we're not sure if it means a full divestiture, whether there's going to be some kind of firewall set up. But there are, ethics concerns that have been raised, and then a White House counsel or the Justice Department could help him sort it out. But the only real watchdog for that would be Congress, and it seems unlikely that a Republican Congress is going to start questioning Donald Trump over his business.
Yeah. What about today? Is he going to Indiana today to talk more about this carrier deal?
He is. He's headed off to Indiana. It's the start of what he and Mike Pence are calling a thank you tour, and that is going to begin at Carrier, the plant in Indianapolis, and then he's going to move to Cincinnati for a rally tonight.
All right, that's Aaron Katersky live in New York following the goings-on of the transition of power. Aaron, thanks for checking in. Have a good day.
Thanks, McGraw.
627, Big 550, KT.